Okay, so today I will talk a little bit about Citrix Profile Management and how to configure it through Microsoft policies, so through Microsoft GPOs. First thing, before you do any any GPOs, you need to make sure that you have your share configured. So you have a share configured correctly. So the important thing here is that users should not be able to see in each other's profile folder. So this is very important, and this is the first thing that needs to be configured from the beginning, and it should be configured correctly, because if you misconfigure it and you want to change something after you have, for example, you have here 1,000 profiles that have a lot of files in them. If you want to change something in the upper in the upper in the upper folder, so for this one, if you want to change some settings here in the security, it will try to apply this change on all the 1,000 subfolders, and it will take a million years. So it's better to have a test environment and to test before going to production and make sure that it's configured as it should be. So the steps are simple. First thing, you need a share. So I have a folder, and I just shared it. So just click on share, and let's do another one. Profile files 02. So you just create a folder. Um, in a productive environment, you will probably get a share from the networking team, so you will not have to do this. But it's good to know how to do it. So you'll probably get a share like this, and inside of it, you will have to create other folders that you will use as the path of your profile store, because you will never put all the users in one store, only if you have a small environment. But usually each department has, I don't know, a few servers, 10, 15 servers. They have special apps, and they would normally have their own OU and their own profile share for a better granular management. So you have the folder, just go to properties, sharing, and just share. Add here everyone, and read write share. Done. After that, under advanced sharing, just um, go to advanced and make sure that everyone has full administrative rights. You can basically remove the administrators. You don't need them because you have everyone. On the caching side, you need to switch to no files or programs from the shared folder are available offline. What this means that the users should not be able to cache their profiles on their own devices. So this is very important. just click OK, apply, and then one more time OK. And you can close this. On the server side, you need to also change one setting. You're gonna go to properties. On the settings side, make sure that you enable access-based enumeration and you disable this. This is the same thing that I have done a few seconds ago, but you also need to make sure that you have this checkbox here. And for the permissions, in this part, I will remove everyone. Okay, let's make it from the other folder because it's easier. So not from the manager, from here. So again, properties, security, and advanced. So first thing you have to do is to disable the inheritance in case it is enabled. So in our case, it's not. And remove the everyone and apply. On the share side, you leave it like this, everyone full control, but here only the administrator system, and if you have the owner should also have full control. Let's see how we add the owner. Okay, give the owner full control to this folder and subfolder. Okay, and apply. Let me check the other one. Is it like this? So let's compare it. Creator owner. Owner, I have something else there. Let's see. Owner rights. It's not good. Add creator owner, this one. Okay. Full control. This folder and subfolders. Okay. Okay, perfect. Now it's good. And you can also add if you have a different group. I do have admin group. Okay, and I will give also my admin group full control. Okay. Okay, and okay. And inside of your share, so this is basically inside your share. Here you can create multiple folders, and each department can have its own folder. Now if you go on those folders and they are already shared because they are part of the initial share. So here you basically only need to change the caching and the permission to everyone. On the second one too. Sharing, advanced, share, caching, no files, permission. So we done the sharing part, and now the access part. So as you can see here, inheritance is enabled again. Disable it. And leave your administrator, system owner, and your administrator group as they are, full control, and just add the users group. I have a group called, let me see, I forgot. It's called MCS users. MCS users. Okay, and those you only have to give traverse folder, list folder, read attributes, create folder, and you need to remove the read permission and only to this folder. So this is how it looks like. Click OK and apply. Okay, and okay, I can do the same thing for the other folder. Advanced, disable inheritance, and add your group, but this time I will add another group because, as I told you, each department may have their own security group, and I believe it's called PVS users. Yeah. Remove that, create folder, and read this folder only. Okay. Apply and okay. Close. So this is exactly how I've configured it for my current profile share. If I go to security, advanced, so administrator system, this user is the owner, so this is why he shows up everywhere. But the owner can be changed because we have here the creator owner, and if you change the owner, then you should be fine in case you leave the company. You have your Citrix group, and you have your users, and if you go with edit, this folder only and only those settings. So why it's important to also visually see what we just configured is that when we play with those security settings, we do not really understand what's happening, or at least I did not really understand when I started to work with those configurations. And let's just take a look. So we have here, I already have 3 users that have their profiles created on the share. So I have user 1 and user 2. So my share should not be visible to other users, and other users should also not be able to access each one's profile folder. And to test that, so I'm logged in, I just go to my share folder, shared user profile. So that's share 01, and it's user profile. Okay, and here you can see that you cannot reach the user profile. You can only reach the entire path if you type the entire path. So share 01 user profiles and MCS, because this is how I've configured it. Okay, so you're in MCS. You can only see your user, even if there are three accounts. Let me go back to my share, because this is a user session, and behind it I have I am logged in with the administrator account, and I can see all the accounts. So this user 2 is there, but he cannot see user 1 and global admin, and this is what you need. So your users should not see and should not be able to access the other profiles. Okay, so he cannot see, but let's see, does the user have the possibility to enter the other profile? Let's try with user 01, and this should not be possible, correct? So they cannot access other users even if they know it out of their head. So they will not be able to access the other profiles. And one more thing that it's good to do. So here, if we go back, so I don't know if you remember, but I unchecked something in the share. Let's go back. So let's go back, user profiles, properties, security, advanced, and here, I don't know if you remember this. This was checked. Read permissions and read extended attributes. So if you leave those marked, then your users, let's go back, your users will be able to right click here with properties and access the security tab, and this is something that you do not want, because if they have access here, they can change by mistake or intentionally, they can change your security settings, and you do not want to do that. They will only be able to view the security options and eventually change something here, but to their own profile. So they cannot do that to any other folder in this chain. So they will only be able to modify their own folder. So this is very important. And even here, for example, so yeah, we cannot access the user profiles, but we can go to share and we see all the shares, because otherwise if you don't see this folder, you cannot reach any of them. But even here, let's see, even here you cannot do anything as a user. So the security tab is not available, so you can't really do anything. Okay, let's see the other two. Security. Okay, yeah, because I've configured everything the same. So this is the first thing that you need to configure, and it's very important that you configure it right from the beginning, because changing any setting after that, I don't know if you ever worked with this, but as I told you in the beginning, if you change here in the folder MCS, you change a setting and you have the folder is full with 1000 profiles and those have millions of files, applying this change will take, I don't know, weeks. So it's better to not have to configure anything else after it's productive. Okay, so this was the main part, and I did follow um, Citrix advice, so I didn't even invent anything. You can search online for the correct configuration, but here also Citrix says system full control, administrations full control, owner full control, and users list folder, read data, create data, and append folders, and to this folder only. So basically I've done it by the book. Okay, so this was the first thing that you have to configure, and to be able to use group policy, you need to have the ADMX and the ADML files so that you can give them to the team that is uploading them on the domain controllers in your environment. I've downloaded the file and the complete profile management file from the Citrix site, and the group policy files you can find here in Citrix base, so you need both the ADMX and the language file, and also the Citrix Profile ADMX and ADML file, and they need to be copied in the system vault. But yeah, for your home environment you can find that in Windows sysvault, your domain policies and policy definitions. So here you will find, I already copied them, Citrix base, and Citrix profile should be also here. How was it named? Citrix profile. Okay, let's go back. CTX profile. So here the ADMX files, and upper in the folder I only have English US. Here you copy the ADML files. Okay, so this was step 2. After this, you should be able to create a new GPO and configure the settings that you need. There are a lot of articles out there, and they will show you how to configure this. I only want to point out a few settings that from my point of view in a productive environment are the most important ones. So the first one, active write back, should be disabled. You do not want that profiles get synced all the time when you have a productive environment. It will create a lot of load on the network and on the share, so this should be disabled. The path to the store, it's clear. If you have users that come from multiple domains, you should configure it like this, so that a user, when he logs in and stores his profile, you will see the username and the domain, because if you do not do that, it will only create the username and maybe the folders will get messed up, so that's important. One more important thing is to correctly configure the exclusion directories and the directories that need to be synced. So in a productive environment, the size of the profile is it's the most important thing. So the size needs to be as smaller as possible, and your biggest enemies in a profile and a current profile are um, the applications like Edge, Microsoft Teams, Outlook, and the type of applications that during the usage they create very big folders with a lot of cache and a lot of files that are only used during a session, and they can be during the log off, they can and should be removed. So you will also find a lot of articles to how on what to exclude. So for example, here the exclusion list, when the user logs off, all those folders in Microsoft Edge will be ignored, so they will not be synced back to the share. And there are also some things from Windows and other applications. Java, for example, also has some exclusions, um, but you need to, based on your environment, you need to configure them so that it fits your users. Um, One more important thing to configure in a productive environment is this delete locally cached profiles on logoff. What this means is when a user logs off, his profile is removed from the server that he logged on. So if we go back to our example, so this is the not the share, we don't want to see the share. This is user one, correct? So we go to the profile store, the profile storage location in Windows, and that's C and users. And we have user one and user two because they are the users that are now logged on. So user one and user two. And what that action does is if you log off, so let's log off user 2, we have user 2. It will, after it completely syncs to the profile share, it will remove the profile from the server. This is critical and very important in a productive environment, because if you do not configure that setting, all the profiles will remain stored on your machines, and after 2 or 3 months of usage, you will have here hundreds of profiles, and you will not understand why the operating system will work, I don't know, 50% slower, because all its uh, all its registry will be full with with other with all the profiles that touched this server. So that setting is very important. You should configure it in any environment. Another important um, setting is this one, the local profile conflict handling. So let's say, for example, um, you had an issue on your environment. Let's go back here, and I don't know, 12 users have disconnected, were forcibly disconnected from the server, and their profiles remained here on the server. Uh, what that option does, when they log back in, um, the logon process will check if it finds the user profile here saved as local. It will remove it and replace it uh, with the roaming profile. So it will automatically clean this and remove the local profile and save the roaming profile. So this is also an important configuration. Let's see what else. So yeah, there might be more settings, but um, in this video I will just show you the absolute basic configuration and the things that matter from my point of view most. And yeah, the rest you need to search online and configure it based on your environment, what the users are doing, and what their profiles um, save. I mean, what the profiles save, what applications they have, and how big their profiles will get. I currently have configured the usual user profiles, but in the next videos I will configure um, profile containers with fslogics, because almost every company now has Microsoft applications, and as I said, those profiles will get very big and very fast, and without a tool like fslogics, nothing will work in a big environment. So maybe for this type of configuration, a profile can reach, I don't know, 300 megabytes, 400 megabytes. This is okay. So up to 300 megabytes, the logon process will not take so much. But if you have users that have access to Microsoft 365, the Outlook file and the OneDrive file, they will get a very big size. So there will be 10, 15 gigabytes, and with 10, 15 gigabytes, if you will not use fslogics, then you will the logon process will take, I don't know, half an hour, which is extremely much. So this was it for now. The, I didn't really show you how to configure it from scratch, but you will find a lot of articles on the internet. I just wanted to show you and show me so that I remember that the most important things are that the share is configured, has the correct permissions, that users cannot reach in each other's um, folders, and that the size of the profile needs to be as tiny as possible. Thank you for watching.